like to see that probably. Have you tested in some other areas?
Yeah,
and all that. But I mean, wow, what a clinic! Seemed like every right you were throwing was just landing and landing hard, and it was just a matter of time. Coming the distance, how'd you feel?
Yeah, I felt good. You know, like I said, I'm learning on the job. Like, I never knew that I would be in this position on this kind of stage so soon in my career. So I'm learning on the job. You know, I felt a little bit more patient today. You know, I got to rewatch the fight, but you know, I have power. I know that. Yeah, and it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get tested in different areas. I'm gonna get tested in the striking. I'm gonna get tested in the grappling and wrestling. It's gonna happen. You know, this sport is not always up. It's gonna be up. It's gonna be down. It's gonna be up. It's gonna be down. So I'm just mentally preparing for that. I'm mentally preparing for a dogfight. I'm mentally preparing for the day I get cut and there's blood all over my face and I can't see and I gotta fight through that. I'm preparing mentally for just all of those things because that's what this sport brings.
So, is it too early to call anybody out?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm only 2-0 as a pro, and there's nobody really to call out. I mean, I'm just, you know, learning on the job. Like I said, you know, the next guy is the next guy, and the guy after that is the guy after that. It won't be until I'm, you know, maybe 7. Or, it doesn't. I don't even know the future, you know. But I feel like, you know, maybe call-outs will happen at the right time. When the time's right.
And just a personal question: who would win in a match between you and Nico?
I would just take him down. I would just take him down. He's got the hands. He's got the boxing, man. He's definitely got that edge. But I just have the edge in grappling and wrestling. But that would never happen. I love my brothers.
Well, you look like the Ali name definitely runs through your blood because you knocked him out 55 seconds. You're still undefeated in the PFL, 2-0 this year. What do you see going on with you for the next, let's say, 6 to 8 months? Are you trying to fight again, quick turnaround, or are you looking to take some time off?
I'm looking to take some time off, get better, get in the gym, and just learn and grow, and then hopefully, you know, maybe I can squeeze in another fight at the end of the year. You know, sometimes when you fight so often, you know, you don't really get that time to go back in the gym, try new things, learn new things, and then try them in sparring, you know. So usually, you know, when you're fighting so often, kind of like last year, you know, I fought 4 times last year. You fight and then you get like a week off and you're right back into camp, and then that camp is you adjusting yourself to or adapting to your opponent, you know, the guy you're about to fight. You don't really get that kind of, I'm gonna learn new tools, add new tools to my game, and et cetera, et cetera. So I think 3 fights this year is great. I'll try to squeeze one in again at the end of the year. And yeah, whatever the future holds is, you know, I believe everything was already destined. So.
One more follow-up question. You mentioned staying active. Now that this is your second fight this year, walking away with a fight that only lasted 55 seconds, how much can you learn from that? What do you take back to the gym, you know, when you get a decision so quickly like you did tonight?
Absolutely. You know, I heard my coach, calm down, and then that's when I got the knockout. And that's what it is, you know, composure is so important in this game. High-level guys, you know, guys at the highest level, you can see the difference in amateurs or guys who had just turned pro compared to guys that are veterans in the sport. You know, they have that composure, they're calm, they're composed, and in the midst of adversity, they keep themselves calm, you know. That, to me, would be the biggest takeaway from this fight. Is just stay a little composed, because there's times where I'm like trying to get the knockout or trying to hurt him, and yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway. You know, my first pro fight, I went the distance. I went all 3 rounds, so I knew what it was like to go the distance, especially majority being on the ground. There wasn't much going on the ground. That's why the ref had to stand us up. But I think from this fight, even though it was only 55 seconds, still that composure and staying calm element is the biggest takeaway.
Great fight.
Thank you.
Hey, Baggio. So you're in a very unique position. Obviously, you come from a combat sports family. It's safe to say that. But you are, to my knowledge, the only MMA practitioner in there.
Yeah.
And I know you said you kind of want to have your own legacy, obviously, from the rest of the family. How much does it interest you to kind of be essentially considered up there with, let's just say, the Muhammad Ali of MMA, and to kind of branch off in that direction? Is that something you've ever thought about?
Oh man, you know, to be the Muhammad Ali of MMA is a bold thing, especially when I'm only 2-0, you know. But you know, I don't know what the future holds. Man, you know, I would say the only, like the Muhammad Ali of MMA was probably a guy like Khabib, who never lost, or GSP, you know, a guy that only lost twice, came back and then beat them. You know, my grandfather had lost fights, came back and then beat them. You know, my goal is to just be an exciting fighter. I hope the fight that I had tonight was exciting. You know, that's the biggest thing that I want to give the fans is to be exciting. You know, in boxing they kind of have that the zero matters so much in boxing. You know, and I think Floyd kind of started that trend of, you know, if you lose once, it's you're trash. But in MMA, you know, there's fighters that have lost many times, and then people still want to see them fight. So I love that about the sport. You know, MMA fans, they love the excitement, they love violence. Even if guys lose, you know, Gagey is still loved as a fighter, even though he just got knocked out, you know, by Max Holloway. But yeah, to me, the most important thing is to just be exciting, and then learn as I'm on the job like I am.
And I noticed you said, just one more from me. I noticed, obviously, you're a big fan of getting into those wars and being able to kind of scrap it out for the entirety of a fight. But I wonder where you kind of rank or value, or how highly you value, a very exciting 51-second knockout like this. I mean, in terms of, let's just say, career advancement, in your personal opinion, which do you kind of rank higher? Because both have their different kind of attractive points.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, can you repeat the last part of the question?
I realize that.
Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, you know, having a 51-second knockout or going, you know, 3 rounds in an absolute war.
Yeah.
Which do you kind of value higher in terms of your own personal preference for exciting fights?
Yeah. You know, at the point of my career right now, it's good to get that cage time. You know, get a dogfight, go the distance. But people like those quick knockouts, and as a fighter too, you know, the fight's over now. You know, all that anticipation, those nerves, all that anxiety, it's now over. It's done. The fight's over. That's nice. But I think right now, you know, in my career, it's better to get that cage time and to get that experience. But you know, sometimes you land one, it puts a guy down, and the fight's over, and that's what happened tonight.
Thanks.
Just one for me. You clearly have shown that your level's above beyond the competition that you're fighting so far. So just wanted to ask you, like, where do you think you're at in your MMA journey so far, and how long do you think till we see you maybe against some no names in the PFL or Bellator?
Oh man, I'm a baby. You know, it's gonna take a long time. I think maybe a couple years for me to even get to that point where I'm fighting, you know, guys that have been in the sport longer than I have, guys that are in the tournament or have a really good record. You know, this sport is a marathon. It's not a sprint. There's no. I'm American. I'm not Russian. Nice. I'm just joking. It's a play on words. Flavor Flav told me that. I thought I'd say it in mean here. I'm American. I ain't Russian.
Nah, that was better. The second time was better. See, the second time when you did it with the first time, it was like, all right. But when you did it with a little Flavor Flav, that was better.
But yeah, you know, this sport, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. I'm not looking to rush nothing. I'm taking my time and just trying to get better, learn on the job, and get back in the gym and just get better. James Gifford, shout out to him. You know, he's an amazing coach, and Dennis Davis as well. So when they're together, it's like freaking go Power Rangers. So yeah, I'm just really excited for the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, a great night at the office for the XC team. Matt's got a great victory.
Yeah.
You as well. But man, I know you guys prepare a lot together for these fights. When you come into a fight week like this, how much more comforting or easier does it make the fight week having a guy that you put in so much hard work with also fighting on the same card?
I think it helps, you know, having a teammate with me, especially a guy like Mass who has been in the sport for a very long time. He's very talented in all aspects of MMA. You know, he's got the stand-up, he's got the wrestling, he's got the jiu-jitsu. It is comforting, but then again, you know, I'm the only one in that cage. You know, it's amazing having both of my great coaches with me, but I'm the only one in there. So I'm still going to get those nerves, the anxiety, and you know, the mind trickery. So it's great, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be nervous regardless.
Absolutely, I understand. Obviously, like you said, 2-0 in your pro career now, making huge leaps and bounds throughout the sport. How do you feel personally as far as your evolution as, you know, a fighter so far?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of that question?
You've been doing great, you know, 2 big wins, and how do you feel like your evolution, the growing process has gone for you ever since you turned professional?
I think it's been great. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out how to stay more composed. I'm still trying to see how much power I should be putting into my punches as well. You know, you don't have to put 100% power to knock a guy out. You know, there was a couple jabs I threw tonight that were only like 50%, but it still hurt him. And even the right hand, I don't even think I threw it as hard as I could, but it put him down. So, you know, there's things like that I'm still learning. The fight IQ as well, you know, being athletic, being more athletic instead of being kind of the brawler type. You know, when I'm sparring in the gym, sometimes I like to just stand and bang and just brawl, but I have more success when I'm being athletic and having that fight IQ. So doing that in the cage is something that I'm really working on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Talk to me a bit about Brian personally, because obviously, like, he missed the weight fight quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I guess you probably appreciated that he even showed up at all,
Yeah.
given that you wouldn't have had a fight if it weren't for him.
Absolutely, you know, and I told him that, you know, I said, I respect you so much for taking this fight. You took the fight on a week's notice, you know, that's pretty ballsy to do, you know. Pro debut, this kind of stage, you know, fighting Muhammad Ali's grandson, you know, those are ballsy things to do, you know, last minute, and he did that. I know he missed weight, but sometimes it's, you know, hard to cut that much weight so soon. And I told him, you know, you've been on this stage before. You already know what it's like to be on this stage, to stay in the hotel and just go through all the things that PFL fighters go through. And it's only going to make them better. That's what I told him too. I said, soak it in, enhance it. I know you lost, but you know, you made that walk and been on this kind of stage. So your next fight, you know, if it's not this stage, it's going to feel a lot easier, I feel like. And I told him that.
I guess you probably would have fought no matter what weight he showed up at, right? He could have been 170, 180.
Yeah, I don't care. I wanted to fight, you know. I didn't put in all this hard work into camp and diet and make weight to not fight. So I'm just happy to fight.
Have you talked to Nico yet, and what did he think?
No, I haven't talked to him. It was real quick, gave him a hug, said I love you too.
What advice does he give you around these fights? Because obviously he's a fighter, but he doesn't know MMA. He can't give you technical advice necessarily. What sort of stuff does he tell you? He's a bit more experienced in the fight game, right?
Nico's a boxer, you know, and he knows that I like to stand and throw hands. Yeah, there's certain things that he tells me, like, look for this, don't throw 100% to your shots. You know, my striking coach, Giff, I call him Giff, he was Nico's boxing coach when Nico first started boxing. So, you know, we have that kind of like small circle, and yeah, you know, it's the advice that he gives me is usually in the stand-up.
You wouldn't consider having him in the corner, no?
No.
Because he knows his striking probably better than most MMA coaches.
Yeah, ish, but you know, boxing and MMA striking is completely different. You know, there's a range difference. There's a stance difference as well. You know, you can't really have that bladed stance too much in MMA because then you'll get low kicked. You got to be a little bit more square, kind of find that balance in between. And Giff, my striking coach, is really good at striking for MMA because it's completely different than just boxing. So yeah, I got Giff and I got Dennis. That's all I need.
You don't have to lie to us. I know Mads didn't help you this week. Mads said when it comes to coaching, Dennis Davis is the best and the baldest. Would you agree with that statement?
I agree with that 100%.
I know you've talked about Giff a little bit already, but what can you tell me about his presence on Fight Week and having him in the corner alongside Dennis Davis?
It's great. You know, he makes me feel confident. You know, he's from Boston, so he's a wise guy. So he makes me laugh. He's funny, makes me feel confident and sharp, and you know, I feel like Superman when I'm with both of those guys.
Mm-hmm. We're at 15 minutes now in the post-fight. The media day pre-fight was 45 minutes, so an hour of interviews and 55 seconds of fighting. Nice. So do you like fighting more, or you just like talking to us on these fights?
I like talking to you guys. It's fun.
You had a whole bunch of people out here to support you, your family, your girlfriend, Nico, of course, the Godfather, Flavor Flav. What does it mean to bring this win back to not only your team, not Giff and Dennis, but all these your family members?
It's amazing. I'm super grateful. You know, it's never me. It's all. I always give glory to God. And you know, I'm lost for words. You know, I'm just very, very grateful. I'm happy. before every fight I get really nervous, even sometimes scared. So to just know that I got the win and it's over with, I can go home and eat barbecue brisket, cornbread, and mac and cheese. You know, I'm happy.
I know I've known you for a few years now, but I only just really realized this week, like it only just hit me that you're 25. Like, I don't know if it's you're well-spoken, how you carry yourself, but you seem older. Do you still feel like a kid? Like, do you feel younger than you are, or do you feel older with all this
I
experience?
feel younger than I am. But 25, you know, I'm still really, really young. I'm still a baby in the game. I've still got a lot to learn. I turn 26 next month. I got time, man. I'm still a baby in this game. I can't imagine where I'm going to be 4 years from now, you know, if I stay on the road that I'm on. So, yeah, it's exciting, and you know, at the end of the day, I just want to be able to give back to my community, help people. I got into the sport because I was depressed after football, and I'd like to help people like me or worse, you know, kids or teens that don't have the guidance. You know, I'd like to help them. Kind of something that like Stephen Wonderboy does. You know, he puts kids in a bus and takes them and teaches them martial arts. You know, I'd like to be like that one day.
I like to keep things positive, but I gotta ask this question. I saw some fans throughout the week saying, I don't think Biagio should keep being on the main card, like there are other fights, more experience, blah, blah. Of course you gotta focus on what's within your own control, but what do you have to say about those comments?
I completely understand, you know. I even think to myself, well, why am I on the main card? You know, but, you know, I'd like to be the first fight on the card, you know, get in and get out, you know. But, you know, it makes sense why, you know, it has to do with the name, you know, draw more views and more eyes to the company as well. You know, Muhammad Ali's grandson, first fight on the main card. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's the first fight on the main card, the main event, or the first fight on the undercard. You know, I just want to fight. But I remember my first PFL fight, it was the first fight on the undercard, and that was nice. It was the first fight, in and out, and I'm done.
Does Mads ever say to you, joking around, like you're taking everything I work for, I should be where you are?
He does say that joking around, and you know, I can't lie, I agree with him. You know, he's such a high level guy. You know, he had defeated Clay, who's another very high level guy. You know, I don't see why he's not on the main card.
Well, you have nothing to apologize for, man. You're doing everything right. It's been cool to see, so congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.